play games with me because he knows I'm not an easy girl. He knows yesterday I could have been out, I could have been chilling, I could have been this and that. He knows I'm in my house. He knows that I'm chilling. He knows I'm not doing the most. And I've really been sparing you. I've really been sparing you.
Enough of that, Cardi B. Let me use astrology to find out the issues.
Why does Cardi B and Offset have marital issues?
Well, I didn't check to see if her birth time is correct. Luckily though, with this 6:10 p.m. time, her moon is in her first house.
Which is like me reading her birth chart. Now, an issue could be if she is actually born after 10 p.m. because her moon sign changes.
Then even her moon chart would be invalid.
Let's look at her sidereal birth chart.
Immediately my eyes went on the Sun. Jupiter conjunction in the Virgo sign.
All in her 7th house with the moon, aspecting it from the 1st house.
To quickly summarize, a Jupiter and Sun conjunction is simple.
The Sun shows what we boss around, what we get into ego conflicts with. Sun shows how we self-express ourselves individually.
Sun is independence and entrepreneurship.
Sun represents our father, I think even the adopted and stepfather. Sun placements indicate where we truly show who we are as an individual. Sun is ego and confidence.
The Sun really is narcissism in astrology.
Whereas Jupiter represents wealth and optimism. Wherever Jupiter goes, even in its transits, we get new opportunities over time, related to the house it is in.
This is why it represents optimism.
These opportunities are always good though. Jupiter expands or increases things in the house it is in.
Jupiter is the husband for a female. Jupiter is morals and religions. Jupiter represents our teachers, coaches.
This conjunction will make her have ego conflicts a lot with her spouses.
Arguments about who is right and who is wrong. The arguments are mainly due to differences in beliefs.
Her husband, Offset, being of a different ethnicity, may not understand who she truly is because of her Dominican background.
This conjunction is in the Virgo sign, so you would see her and Offset always criticizing each other more so her husband does.
How do I know? Well, Jupiter represents her husband and is in the 7th house of husbands.
Jupiter being about higher education and morals obviously shows Cardi B and her husband would often have conflicts about who is smarter. It sounds funny, right? But nobody likes being in a relationship or marriage with someone that thinks they know it all.
On top of that, her husbands all, throughout her life, would use their intellect as a way of managing or controlling the marriage.
Cardi does it too, but her husband would do it slightly more. For example, let's say Offset thinks having a dinner at 7 p.m. every night is how a marriage should function.
Cardi would think it should be at 5 p.m. instead, and she would try using maybe some statistics or something she learned in school as a way of proving her point.
This is how their marriage constantly goes. I mean, I can explain a lot better, but it takes like an hour for me to just read one house. The downside of her marriage really comes down to those two both trying to manage or look for problems in the marriage, also problems with spouse.
This makes those to be like, see, I was right, I told you not to do this. The Sun's influence shows that she gets husbands that do not like being told what to do. Her husbands would always be independent.
An issue with that is when you date someone that is independent.
They are more likely to cheat because you lack control over them. Hence why they argue about who's right and who is wrong. I honestly didn't even listen to the Instagram videos of Cardi B crying. Any married woman that has a Sun and Jupiter in any house would experience what I'm saying. In fact, she was in her Sun's Antarctica. Most recently, the Sun Antarctica ended November 8, 2023. If you look at the moon in the 1st house of Cardi B's personality,
Easy, it's what you have imagined. She's an emotional person.
I don't know if the moon in the first house can make someone bipolar though. Her moon is in Pisces, so a lot of emotions stem from her delusions or imaginations.
She can be a person that hallucinates or overthinks.
Overthinks about what exactly?
Obviously her first house stuff like her appearance, how she dresses. Not just those things, all of this energy is being aspected onto her seventh house stuff. This can make her be delusional about her marriage situations.
Make her emotional about her marriages and husbands.
The moon is more so the sad, sensitive, depressed type of emotions, whereas Mars is more so about the anger type of emotions.
Now does thou see why it takes me an hour just to read one house?
It's because I know too much stuff.
Now that I'm done with buns and toppings, let's get into the meat of the burger.
Why are these problems happening now with Cardi B and Offset?
Well, she has been in her moon Antarctica since November 8, 2023, so no wonder why she is crying and stuff about her marriage.
At first I thought it was a facade.
It gets worse though. Ketu is transiting her seventh house. It's never good for marriage.
I remember coming across a post on Reddit with someone talking about how I read her chart.
Well, if Cardi B's birth time is accurate, then this person could see what I was saying. Ketu is separation, whether physically or emotionally, so when it transits the seventh house, a lot of separation with the spouse occurs.
It isn't always legal separation like a divorce. It could be a spouse having to travel for work. I saw this when I knew Will and Jada Smith would get a divorce.
Turns out they already had 1 year before I made the post. For Cardi B, this transit began October 30th, 2023, so maybe the separation made her emotional, who knows?
Now tag me in Asinastri or compatibility chart the video giving you better information than this.
To add the cherry on top, this is only baby information for me. I'm only getting better too.
Follow me on the other apps. I'm out.